Hi everyone, I'm Talia, and today I'm going to show you how I use GTD and basically rock planning in my bullet journal. Okay, so for those of you who haven't heard of GTD, it stands for Getting Things Done, the Art of Stress-Free Productivity. And if you've been watching my channel, you've probably seen my GTD collections in the back. So I got this printable from the official website. I will link it in the description. So it talks about how you're supposed to get everything out of your head. What that might include is mind sweeps, but it also includes a lot of lists. And the bullet journal, I think, is just, it's meant for GTD. The types of lists that you can just create lists or collections. One of the things is a wish list. So anytime you think of something like, oh, I'd really like to have that, it's good to have a list, because I don't know about you, but a lot of times when holidays come around, birthdays or Christmas, people are like, oh, I want to get you something. What do you want? Or what do you need? And you're drawing a blank. I also do a mind sweep. Like anytime I'm feeling stressed and I need to get it all out, I'll just write down everything that I'm thinking of that I have to do. And then I also have lists that are just collections, and sometimes I make lists into collections in my bullet journal, like my chore chart and my kid activity tracker. So those are ones I just use repetitively, or they can be like books to read, movies to watch. I have one here, makeup to buy. I had a grocery list back here and I just needed a place to write it. So anything that crosses my mind, it's notes that I need to write down in the list. GTD, I'm not going to show you any paper stuff because actually I don't get a lot of paper. Most of my stuff is kind of thinking stuff. I don't get a lot of paperwork. And I go through these lists once a week. So today I would kind of read through these lists. Not all of them. I don't need to read through my grocery list from June 26th. I've already gone shopping, so you don't need to read that one. But anything else that you need to look at. So one of them is the big mind sweep. I always read that one, so I'll show you guys what that one looks like. So my mind sweep was just kind of like all the things I needed to clean and do, and then other things I was thinking about for different areas of my life, just getting it all out. So I just threw that all on here. And now it's kind of actionable. I put stars next to the things I was doing, and I crossed out the things that I actually already did because I started attacking this list in a methodical order. Now some of these things I'm not going to do. I'm not going to be deep cleaning our closet anytime soon. I do not have that kind of time on my hands. I will one day, but that is not today. Great. And then clean out a pantry, that's something that is definitely, I can definitely tackle that because that's not too hard and our pantry isn't out of control. So I read through this, and if there's something I want to tackle, then I can move it over to my master to-do list. So all the GTD collections, these lists, they collect things. So anything that you need to do is I put in here. Now if it's something that has a date attached to it, it's an event or an activity, that I keep somewhere else. I feel like you need a place to catch things and a place to catch dates. So one of the places I catch dates is my future log. And the reason, and I'll show you my calendex next, that's kind of the secondary thing, but this you can throw anything on. So I have the names of the months here, and it doesn't go in a chronological order, you just write it down. And the thing I loved about this is they're dates, but they're also time frames. For example, at Disneyland, we know we want to go to Disneyland in September. We've been talking about it, but we haven't set an actual date. We know we want to go in that month, but not sure when. And we know preschool, I wrote down preschool starts on the 13th. So now when I'm planning, I can say, okay, well, we probably want to go before the 13th. So the reason I created this future log, because if you've seen I have the calendex, is because calendex really couldn't take things that were monthly because it's a date thing. The next time I set up my bullet journal, I'm going to put my future log in there first and then the calendex, and then that way I have the GTD lists and my future log, and they're collecting the big stuff. Okay, so after you have them here, then we siphon them down into the calendex and the master to-do list. From the future log, when you have an actual date, I bring it over and put it on the calendex. And some things just kind of stay on the calendex. Like in pink, I have books due. So I know that books are due that day and I need to either renew them or return them. So those I kind of just put right there. So whenever I renew them, that same moment I put the next pink dot. Same thing with the GTD. we start at the list and then we come here. And my master to-do list is mostly tasks, but it's kind of projects too. Like I need to make a school to-do list for Mac, and I haven't set that up yet because he's going to preschool in September. We just started July. This is the second when I'm filming this, so it seemed a little early to start, you know, getting all this stuff together, going out and buying things, but the sales are coming up, so that is something I'm gonna have to do pretty soon. So when I'm done with them, I cross them off. And both of these things get migrated into the monthly. All these get moved on to my calendar, and these usually go straight to the dailies, but they could, in theory, if they're a big project, go on the monthlies. So the monthly spread, I have all my tasks and they're written down, and I see I had my renew books that day, and I haven't added that renew the books, so I need to do that. So that's why we kind of do the trickle effect so that nothing gets dropped. So I need to renew the books on the 22nd. So I always double check my calendex, and I always double check my master to-do list when I'm setting up my dailies. So the monthly has my reoccurring things like our anniversary and birthdays and 4th of July, and then these are day specific things that are only happening this day, and my projects list, and these are the big projects I'm working on. And then from here we move them into usually the dailies and sometimes the weekly spread. So you'll see that my weekly spread has the appointments that were on my monthly, just so that I can see what's going on that week. It's just kind of a busy schedule, but it also has the tasks that I'm doing that week, and these tasks are mostly based on my goals. So my weekly spread is usually more focused on goals, and the monthly is just kind of a hodgepodge collection of to-dos. So I look at both of these and then I move into my dailies. Okay, so these are my dailies, and today is Sunday when I'm filming this. Okay, so this last bit I'm going to edit together really fast, my planning routine, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now that I set up my daily, I'm going to go through it. So I'm going to start at GTD. The only thing from GTD that I kind of wanted to tackle was that pantry we talked about. Now the way I get the rest of my tasks is I start with my calendex and master to-do list, go to my monthly, go to my weekly, and they all come here. Okay, let's double check the calendex. Do we have anything happening on the 3rd? I have nothing happening on the 3rd. I do need to clean out the cube and organize the pool table. And buy Jeff's card, I actually already did, and I did not cross it out. I actually already sent it too, because see, that got migrated over into my dailies, and so I just operated on it there. I think organizing the pool table takes priority, so I'm going to actually throw that onto Monday, and I'm not going to cross it out until I do it, so that's going to stay there. So that's all I have for the calendex and the master to do. Now let's go to the monthly. Okay, I don't have anything here. I'm just double checking to make sure I didn't write something here that I did not put on the calendex. And I'm going to look at my projects for the month. NaNoWriMo's going on. I am not doing 50K. I am doing minute K, lose 5 pounds for YouTube videos. I have stuff in place on my weekly already for those. Read the stand. Definitely need to work on that. Organized playroom. I'm mostly there. And deep clean bathrooms is done this week, because this was bathroom week, so I did that. See, wash windows and routine list. I already did that. That's my chore chart that I'm thinking of. And these are kind of reoccurring that I'm working on with the kids, so they're not really something I'm going to cross off. Okay, so from here, I'm going to go ahead and put read the stand on there. So from the monthly to the daily, I'm going to put read the stand. I could find time in the day to read. So read the stand. And from my weekly spread, looks like on Monday I'm supposed to be tackling living spaces day 1. And let's see what else I can do. I feel like I need something else on that day. I think I can handle one more thing. So the one more thing I'm going to do to hit my goals, read my revision notes. I have to do stuff for NaNoWriMo anyway. I'm doing minutes and editing this camp. So I'm going to read my revision notes. So I'm going to put that for tomorrow is read revision notes. So it's a big reading and cleaning day. And you'll note that I didn't cross any of that stuff off because I don't cross it off until I do it. And that way I'm forced to read through it again every day to see what I'm accomplishing and what I'm not. Okay everyone, so that is how I use all my collections and lists and feature log and calendex and master to-do list and monthly spread and weekly spread to complete my daily checklist. And that's how I stay on top of everything and nothing falls through the cracks. No appointments, no dates, no projects, no chores, no goals. They all get looked at and attended to as we do this. This came from a mind sweep I did a month ago. This was a goal I set up at the beginning of the month. This is something that I am implementing. It's part of my goals. And this is another one of my goals for a different category of my life. These are coming from all over my bullet journal and they're ending up on my daily page. I feel really confident that I didn't miss anything. All right, so I hope that was helpful because I want you guys to be able to rock planning as much as I do. And that is the point of GTD, is stress-free productivity. And I feel a lot less stressed when I do this. And again, the GTD and the future log is something you only do once a week. I know I included it in this video, but nightly you just hit the calendex and the master to-do list, then the monthly spread, then the weekly spread, and bring them all here. All right, everyone, that is it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.